Well, first of all, I really want to thank this panel and Soraya and the panelists who have done a wonderful job, and also the two groups in the morning who were stunning, really. Wonderful presentations, very, very helpful, especially at the outset of our work at the Women's Learning Partnership. We're a new organization, and this is our first conference, and this is to be the basis, this dialogue is going to be the basis and for our planning for the future. And our agenda is to help enable women in the global south, especially women in Muslim societies, to enable themselves using their wisdom, using their experience, using their cultural variety and their cultural richness. And to do that, of course, we have benefited a great deal from this conversation. I don't want to go through this whole process of recapping the day's very rich dialogue, but the main, three or four main ideas which I think we've all shared and which are going to be the basis for our further explorations are that we are reaching a place where power is important for women, and that the base of power now is knowledge and information, and that one vehicle of exchanging and absorbing and gathering knowledge and information is the new technology, and that there is a great divide, mostly between the haves and the have-nots, and the women are, to a great extent, the have-nots, and we must try our best to close that gap so that people can use these wonderful vehicles who have their bad sides as well, as we know, if they're not in some ways controlled and in some ways shared. So we must use this in order to go ahead with the process of empowerment. And that also we're reaching for leadership from what we learned from this discussion. It's a new kind of leadership. It's a kind of leadership which is not hierarchical. It's not people ordering each other down a line from rigid standards, but it's a leadership which is sharing, which is creating together, which is establishing norms and values together. And this new kind of leadership is especially suited to our experience as women, because we have had to problem solve, we have had to negotiate, we have had to nurture, and this is exactly what the new leadership requires. So we have a lot to bring to the table from that point of view, from in the area of creating, not only making ourselves equal to what exists, but recreating our concepts of leadership. There have been some extraordinary women in the audience who have not had a chance to be speakers, but it's wonderful that we've heard from many of them, and of course a number of issues that have come up from those discussions, among them the need to reach out to other organizations, other groups, not only women's groups and feminist groups, to reach out to a wider range of governmental, non-governmental, mainstream democracy organizations and others, and also always the emphasis on diversity, on differences, on how much we each have in our different ways, languages, cultures, religions, to bring to the dialogue, and how important it is to not let the new vehicle bring only one voice, one set of values, one language, one culture, but to have the multifaceted, beautiful variety of our world and our women, the women of the world and the people of the world, to this global dialogue. I don't want to take more of your time. It's been a very full and in some ways absorbing and exhausting experience, and also a fulfilling one. So I just want to thank some of the wonderful people who have made this possible, so please bear with me. For one thing, I would like to first of all thank the Kevorkian Center that has lent us so much support, and Shiva Bellari, who is Shiva here? No? Well, she has been wonderful in helping organize the conference. Our funders, the Global Fund for Women, UNIFEM, United Methodist Church, Shale Adams Foundation, and of course, last but not least, UNFPA, who has been not only helpful in terms of resources, but Soraya has been an advisor of great value to us. I would like to thank the volunteers from NYU, Leila Mustafa and Jillian Schwadler, who have helped us a great deal here today. Also, Rahim Sabir, who's done a great job of translating both for us publicly and for Amina throughout the day. I would like to thank Zakaria Shahrazad, who has helped in many, many ways, technically with all the complicated technology today, and also with filming, and also our video team, Shabana Coelho, Brian Perro, and Kim Connell. And most important of all, I want to thank my great friends and colleagues, and I want them to come up here. Anne Eisenberg, our Director of Programs, and Rocky Goyal, our Director of Technology. Please come up. If ever anyone was blessed with the colleagues who are the epitome of what women ought to be working together, the joy of it, the fun of it, the humor of it, the resourcefulness, I have been really blessed to have the chance to work with these two women, and also Maureen. Come on up, Maureen. Maureen has been also great in organizing the conference, so please come on up. They're very shy and unassuming. They've done a wonderful job of not only this conference, but in many, many different ways in forming this new organization. So with this, I thank everybody. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful, and I hope that you have enjoyed this conference as much as I have. And bless you all, and thank you. Thank you.
For a Women's Learning Partnership, a record of the conference. Can you just tell me what are you going to take? What did you learn today? What are you going to take away from the day today?
I learned lots of things, and today here, like women have a lot of things to do, without men. I think it's a great thing, like enjoying this kind of thing. I think they help us a lot.
Okay, thank you very much. Doesn't matter.
I'm honestly still sifting through it, but This is obviously a group of really powerful, beautiful women, and I think the new technology is going to take a little time to develop for them and for this group, but I'm excited by what I heard today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tell me what you're going to take away with you today. Like, what was it like here today?
Well, it's been nice, interesting, and educating. I've taken a lot, and I intend to make use of it. For instance, it's quite important that we make use of technology for the advancement of women.
Thank you. Women's Learning Partnership is doing a DVD.
Yes.
What do you take away from the day today?
Well, I took a lot, and it is related to what I am doing in Bahrain. I am from Bahrain. I am the director of literacy and adult education, and I benefited a lot. And
What do you remember most? What's the thing that sticks in your mind?
That the empowerment of women, it is not hierarchy, but it is cooperation and spreading information and thinking about network and tools to fulfill this information and cooperation.
About the day. Can I just ask you what you're going to take away with you? What are you going to take away with you today?
Well, I think as usual, I'm going to go away quite inspired. I take away an impression of a lot more diversity than one ever imagined exists, both within the Islamic world and generally amongst women within women's movements. But that I think also an impression of support and togetherness, which is always very important, because it empowers you, it inspires you to go back into the field.
Thank you. Okay. So can I just ask you a quick?
Yes, you can.
Okay, you can be talking tomorrow, but we'll say it.
Okay. You want me to hold it? Okay.
Is it good?
You want me to hold it?
No, it's all right.
Okay.
Tell me what's the most memorable part of today for you? What was the most memorable part?
Well, the most memorable part, I attended the afternoon, I can't say the whole day, okay? I think the most memorable part is that the convergence of messages about mainstreaming gender issues in the whole rights agenda. I think this is very important.
What does it make you think about the use of ICTs, these new information technologies that empower women? What does that?
I think this is a way of sharing knowledge for sure, networking, facilitating contacts among all the women groups. I think it's a positive beginning.
What are you going to take away with you today? When you go out of this room, what's going to stay with you?
I think what will stay with me is the seriousness of women to change the world or to change the situation in which they are. And I think this is important.